Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in again. My goal for this video is to break the myth that investment immigration options are only for the ultra rich. You must have heard in the news about the 5 million US gold card for investors or any other expensive options where you need to invest at least 300,000 to 350,000 USD to have any shot of getting your permanent residency. But in this video, I'll introduce you to a unique investment program that will not just give you permanent residency in one of 7 countries, but also an equity stake in a highly innovative and lucrative business. And all this for less than, are you ready for it? 150,000 USD. I'm talking about the cost of the entire program from start to finish, including your capital injection and all associated fees can be $150,000 USD or less. So please keep listening while I share important information throughout this video. It could be worth your while and you can find out for yourself if this is the right program for you. Now, there is a direct link between good immigration policies and the caliber of applicants and businesses countries attract. So with many countries competing for better innovative businesses, competing to attract foreign direct investment and to attract the right talent, countries are constantly making amendments to their immigration policies and are open than ever before to structure creative programs. Now, global migration is at an all-time high. There are several reasons for this, but one of the more pressing reasons at this time especially is the obvious geopolitical shift that the world is facing now. People are looking for options to migrate to other countries in search of political stability or economic opportunities, good education for their kids, or good healthcare facilities. And being open only to the tried and tested regular immigration economic routes are becoming increasingly restrictive. Even pathways to permanent residency from temporary work permits are subject to sudden policy changes restricting your ability to get permanent residency, as many of you may have already experienced. So this is where we put our heads together at Blue Water Immigration and came up with a creative solution that allows people to consider this unique investment pathway to permanent residency, especially when they do not qualify for the economic route because of their age and other factors, and neither do they fall in the ultra high net worth category. They are somewhere in between, and in my experience, I find that there are far too many people in this, sort of middle category. They have excellent education, fantastic career or work experience, or they've run very successful businesses, but unfortunately, they are not able to spend millions of dollars, and they certainly don't qualify for the regular immigration routes, like I said, because of their age or language factors. So now, how do we do this? How were we able to create the solution, and does it really work? Now, we partner with and work with governments directly to understand their priorities for economic growth. So if they say they would like to see more projects in, say, clean tech or fintech, then that's exactly what we give them. And if they say their priorities are in agri-tech or health tech, then that's what we give them. And I'm just taking very simplified examples here. Now, what do I mean by we give them? Now, we have a tech startup studio with absolutely bright minds where we develop these innovative businesses from scratch. We have a list of a zillion project ideas, which our team brings to life in these startup studios. We get it to a good stage where the business has user traction, or in some cases also revenue generating. Then we take these businesses to get it pre-approved by these governments based on our discussions with them on their priorities. Now, once we get these businesses pre-approved, we then look for co-founders that have the skills to scale these startup businesses. We usually form a team with complementing skill sets: marketing, sales, finance, operations, etc. And depending on the project, we also look at specific domain expertise, such as education, healthcare, construction, agriculture, etc. Now, when we have an excellent team of co-founders, we then present the co-founders to the governments to get a nomination or a letter of support. Now, of course, for Canada, we will present the team to a designated organization chosen by the government. But for all other 6 countries, we deal directly with the government authorities. These 6 other countries are Australia, New Zealand, Denmark, the UK, Ireland, and Estonia. Now, once we get the nomination or the letter of support, we are able to use it to apply for permanent residence. Now, you may wonder, is this all for real? Like, what's the catch and so on? And yes, there definitely is a catch. I'll be very upfront here. The catch, very simply, is that not everyone will qualify for this program. We are quite selective in who we consider for this program. I'll talk about the eligibility criteria in just a bit. You will definitely will have all the details, but I just want to touch upon a very disheartening story with you, which is about a big time scam that happened to someone, and I got to know about it because she booked a consultation with me and shared with me what had happened. So to cut a long story short, this person was living illegally in the US for several years. She has a very successful business operation, and of course, considering everything happening in the US now, she was very worried and she was genuinely looking at moving to Canada through an investment program. I'm so sad that she was given advice to wire 250,000 USD to some immigration company here in Canada, and they were guaranteeing her permanent residence. Obviously, I was shocked to hear this, and I told her that there really is no program that can help her move to Canada, especially with no legal status in the US. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that as someone looking for options to migrate to another country, take the time to do your due diligence, find out everything about the company you're dealing with, and ask the right questions about what the program is and how they can help with your immigration journey. Now, the second you hear about transferring such a high sum of money all at once, you should know that something is really not right. So no matter what they say to lure you into this, be careful. So now coming back to the eligibility criteria, like I said, not every client is a fit for this investment migration program I am talking about in this video. So first things first, if you cannot afford at least 150,000 USD, then this program is not for you. Of course, the 150,000 USD is not paid all in one shot. There is a clear payment milestone that will only get charged based on a clear milestone met. So just so you're aware of this. And of course, I'll be explaining everything to you when the time is right. Now, secondly, we need the client to have legal status in any country they're living in now. And third, we need the client to have excellent senior management or executive level experience in any domain or entrepreneurship experience. And finally, we need the client to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree at the very least. Anything higher is only a bonus. We also need the client to score a minimum of CLB 5 in English. And with respect to your age, if you are under 55, that's great. But if you're over 55, then we need to go that extra mile in your application to prove economic benefit, to the country you choose to relocate to. So just imagine this, okay, 150,000 USD or less, and you walk away with 2 important things. First is obviously you get your permanent residency status in one of the 7 countries. And secondly, you get an equity stake in the business that you invest in. Now, how much equity stake will be a discussion that we will have with each co-founder. It all depends on which country you're choosing, their immigration program guidelines, the chosen project, etc. And remember, I'm not claiming for this to be so simple that everyone and anyone can be a fit. Absolutely not. Experience plays a big role, and if someone has the experience, a strong business acumen, has legal status in the country of residence, and has liquid funds availability of at least $150,000, then I guess we can begin a discussion and see where that takes us. So if you think you qualify, and if you have been actively looking for options to immigrate to another country, please don't overthink this. I know many clients who get stuck in an analysis paralysis mode. So just go ahead and book that consultation and you will be speaking directly with me. Send us your resume and a LinkedIn profile if you have it in advance of our meeting so we can review to have a productive call with you. Let's understand your priorities and let's see if we can help you immigrate to your country of choice with your family. Now, I do hope you found this video helpful and I hope it gave you some level of hope about your immigration journey. And I look forward to connecting with you and wish you good luck.